Hi, it's Ashley from AB Sound Advice. Today we are doing a product preview of the new Soundstream VRCPAA-70MW. This is the new wireless Android Auto Apple CarPlay unit. The old model, or the non-wired one, was the 70M, so this is the new 70MW. Now I have noticed some very big differences between the two. The 70M I actually have in my own car and I use quite regularly, and that's a cabled Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and now this is the new wireless version. Just overall, they really have tidied up the speed of the screen, the screen quality, the responsiveness, and the sound quality is very, very good. So let's just start off, like all my previews, we'll just run through the features first. Obviously it's a mechless unit, so it has no CD or DVD drive slot. It's obviously, as I mentioned, wireless Apple CarPlay with built-in Siri Assist, wireless Android Auto built-in with Google Assist, high quality, high resolution TFT-LCD display, extended rear USB 2 amp 5 volt phone integration. It also obviously 2-DIN, so it's a 7-inch screen. We have advanced AM/FM with data display, wireless direct select remote control, and again, as I've mentioned in previous videos in the past, I love their remote control, really nicely laid out. And we also have front, rear, and sub outputs, 4 volt, if you're wondering. So it's a nice, decent output. And we also, through the rear USB, if you're using that, you can use it for MP3, WMA audio files from a 64 gigabyte USB or micro SD slot, which is on the front. So also built-in 300 watt max power amplifier. So quite a reasonable amount of power into the unit, and also dual RCA outputs for auxiliary monitors. Well, that's one thing I do like about the Soundstream units. They do have a lot of connections. So just quickly running through, comes with your power connections, including steering wheel controls, speaker outputs if you're going to be using the internals. Comes with the metal brackets, one left and one right for the mounting. We get a owner's manual, which you can see here. Very well laid out. A quick look at that just a moment ago. So again, very, very nice. Now we'll just quickly go through. I've actually got a USB in here at the moment. We can see here, so we can simulate you're playing music, and I've also included the front camera. So what I did like about this, which the 70M had, but with the 70M you had to go through a couple of menus to get that sorted. I'd say a few people have raised the same thing I was thinking. It'd be nice, like for my wife, she likes to sometimes see the front, or even myself. It now has a camera. You just tap that one button on the front and it'll automatically bring in the front camera where you can see me in the screen. And then of course we have the reversing camera, so we put the USB back on again. If I simulate putting the car into reverse, it'll bring on the other camera that I've connected, and you can see now we're looking down on the unit that is reversing camera. We then take our car out of reverse and we're back to it playing as it should on the screen. Other things that I like to mention, this unit here in the Australian market and New Zealand market will come with a separate external microphone, but when you do activate your unit, you will need to duck into the settings, and doing that, just duck into your settings here, and you just go into the general, slide this thing to there, and you'll see here we've got a mic switch. At the moment it's set to rear, front. So front's the one built into the front of the unit. Rear means we're using a separate hands-free microphone. It's been set to Australia. I did like how it's got all the individual countries loaded into the unit preset. You've also got different wallpapers that you can select from. In the sound area, obviously we can have the beeps on or off. You can have reverse volume, and you can again adjust that to suit. You have your equalization, but also, which I thought was pretty cool, comes with the time alignment, and also your balance controls, so fader, front, rear, loudness, if that is something you'd like to get into. We also, in the sound area, I'll just duck back into there again, You can also go into the subwoofer area, and inside there I've set it to 80 Hertz, but I do like that it goes down to 50, and it does go quite high as well if you want to go. I always recommend between 50 and 80. 80 is sort of my favorite point. You can also adjust your subwoofer up and down from there. I've already set the clock and date in this unit, so it's all been, but again, toggle through. Once you've done, there's nothing to do. You just hit the button or go into somewhere else within the unit, and that will just work like so. Again, USB, which you can see I've already got music playing in the background, and I've got them wired to a pair of speakers, so if we actually did turn the volume up, you'll start hearing music coming out through the speakers, which is in the background there. And we just bring that back down again, and we can do that actually via the remote control. So bring the volume down, you can hear the beeping in the background. Those beeps can be turned on or off as required. Also, when you go back to your main screen, you can select obviously BT, which is your Bluetooth music, SD card, which goes in the front camera, which I showed before, AV in, and obviously if the phone was connected by Bluetooth, you'd be able to see that. And the other thing we're going to do is just take you a walk around the back of the unit so you can see the back. We have obviously the GPS antenna, and we also have, you can see here I've got the front camera connected into here and the rear camera on the other side. You can see here I've got my USB plugged into the back of the unit, which would be, you can either use your phone lead for that or, as I said, connect wirelessly. And again, very generous on the RCA's front, rear, subwoofer out, and of course some AV outputs if you want to put your own screen on. And I do think that's something that these days people are more and more. If you've got a camper van or you're going on a holiday, or in camper vans especially, or even camper vans, caravans, all those sorts of things. If there's in that type of environment, you can output that yellow cable off to a TV set, or you can put it into a converter to convert it into whatever format that you wish. So I think all in all, I can honestly say from a preview perspective, I love the unit. It's a great, I really have noticed the responsiveness has changed. It's very sleek. It's got a lot of class to it. And I've had my original Soundstream I originally bought back in the 80s. Was about a $2,500 tape deck. And I still own that today. And I think you would have seen that in other reviews. And actually, just as I said that, I've noticed it is sitting on my bench, just sitting in the corner there in the way back from the 80s, if you can remember that far back. And if you haven't been around in the 80s, Soundstream was a very, very high-end brand at the time. And as the years have gone by, they've had some issues, but they've come back on track again. And this unit here, out of all the units I've had so far from Soundstream, the 70M, as I've mentioned, and now the new 70MW, this is definitely a massive improvement on the 70. Sound quality wise, visuals, screen, overall a fantastic unit. This is a unit here will be going into one of my other cars. But if you'd like to find out more information about this unit, you can duck onto hifihq.com.au for Australia, or hifihq.co.nz for New Zealand, or just ask your local dealer and they can make contact with us and order in whatever unit you'd like. And as I said, it does have steering wheel control options. Some vehicles you will need an actual steering wheel module, and I think this can also be direct connect. So don't quote me that. I think in our particular car they have changed this from the model that was in the 70. I think had direct cables. This has now got a 3.5, so more than likely it will require the steering wheel control module if you do want your steering wheel controls to work. So I hope you've enjoyed today's product preview on the new Soundstream VRCPAA-70MW. And again, thank you for tuning in to AV Sound Advice, and we'll see you next time.